Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue with 1D analysis and we are going to solve the next type of problem, that is about steel frames. So generally steel frames are found in case of buildings. When we create a very big building, you can see steel frames are there. So steel frames provide cost-effective solution in case of buildings. They have high strength to weight ratio. In this problem we are going to solve about this steel frame. So you can see here we have a steel frame. Now onto this steel frame we have this dimension 6 meter 6 meter. So that is the gap between them here, and the length of each frame is 3 meter, and for the middle frame the length is 1 meter higher. The material we are taking is structural steel, that is a default material, and in case of steel frames the load that is applied is the line pressure. So it means basically it is the uniformly distributed load. So these types of load are basically uniformly distributed along the length. Here we can see onto these frames the UDL is applied. And we are taking a I-beam section, so this time the section is like I structure. So you can see this is a I frame. So I frame is basically symmetric. It is symmetric in both directions. These are all the values for the isometric beam section. So in practical life you can see beam sections everywhere. In case of buildings you can see multiple beam sections. It is very important to perform an analysis of beam sections. So what I want you to do is, first you try to make this beam section by yourself and then perform the analysis. So in the next lecture we are going to solve this problem. Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue solving this problem of steel frame member. So now let's go to ANSYS. So by default I am taking the material that is structural steel. So in ANSYS there is always the material defined for the structural steel. So now we are not going to define any material from here. So I will go to geometry, make a check on this line body, and then go to right click and then design modeler. Here I will go to the sketching and then go to settings. In the settings I will go to grid, make a check on this 2D and then snap. Go to grid sizing, and let's say grid size I am taking 5 meter, and then click on this XY plane. Zoom in. So from this point up to this point, this distance is 5 meter, and the gap between these small rectangles is 1 meter. Now I go to sketching. So before this let's see the shape of. So now we can see the gap between them is 6 meter. And the length is 3 on this side, 3 on the top side, and also this gap between them is 6 meter. So this is 6 meter. Go to ANSYS. I go to sketching, draw and line. I draw a line from this point. See, we know up to this point the distance is 5 meter. So if I take this point, the distance will be 6 meter. Similarly up to this point. After that we need to draw 3 lines. So this line is up to 3. We need to make sure we have to select it up to 3 point. Similarly up to 3 and up to 3. And similarly we need to draw this line 3 upward and then 3 upward here. In the middle we need to draw this line up to 4. And then make a contacting line between them, so this line and this line. So if I try to rotate this, press escape first and rotate it, we can see we have the preview of the shape. So I can go to settings, make a uncheck on this grid display. After that we have to translate this. So before that I will go to concept, line from sketches, select this sketch and click apply, so that it will create a line body here. So go to generate, and now we can see a line body has been created. After that I will have to translate this. So go to create body transform and translate. In the body, select sketch 1. Now we can see the sketch 1 is highlighting. Distance is 6 meter. Now we need to specify the direction. So direction I can specify using the coordinate system. So go to coordinate. So you see I want to offset this in the Z direction. So I will insert the value Z, that is 6 meter, and then preserve body. I also want the original body. So I will select yes and then click on apply. Click on generate. Okay, we have forgotten to select the body. So click on this translate. So you see it has not properly translated the body. So you can see a red symbol here. It means there is some problem. So go to this translate. We need to select the body. So go to this sketch 1. So we have to once again translate this. Right click and delete this. Go to create and then translate. First let me select the directions here. So this value is 6 meter. And then preserve body yes. In the body I will select this sketch 1, or I can select this line body. It is better to select this line body and then click on apply. Go to generate and you can see a preview of the line body that is offsetted. Now we have to join these line bodies. So to join them I will go to concept. See, we need to draw a line from the point. So select line from points. Select the first point. Make sure this vertex option is selected. Select this first vertex and select the second vertex. Make sure to hold down the control key. Select these two. Now you can see preview of a line. Similarly, select this point, hold down the control key, select this point. So we need to continue making the lines. Select this point and this point, hold down the control key. This point and this point. This point and this point, and click apply. Click on generate. So now you can see our frame is ready. Now we need to apply the cross sectional to this. So I go to concept and then go to cross sectional and then select I section. Now inside this I section, if I zoom in, we can see an I section has multiple dimensions. So here we can see all these dimensions are displaying. W1, W2, W3, T1, T2, T3. Now we need to put the dimension of all these parameters. So go to the problem definition and here we need to copy all these values. So go to ANSYS. So this value is 0.1715. Similarly, this is 0.1715. This is 0.3665. W3 0.366556, and this is 0.0073, 0.0073. This is 0.0115. Now go to generate. So now we can see we have defined a cross sectional to this. So I go to this line body and then go to cross sectional and then select this. Generate once again and then go to cross sectional solid. So in this way we can see we have defined the cross sectional. So I will go to file, close, design modeler. Now I am going to save this file. So go to file, save as. So in the folder of steel frame I will select this file, steel frame 1. So we will continue this in the next lecture. Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue the analysis of steel frame. So till now we had created the geometry. I will go to model, right click and then edit. So here we need to apply this load, that is a line pressure load, and we need to apply the boundary condition. So we know that all these points are fixed in for this boundary condition. So I go to ANSYS. First of all, go to line body and make sure structural steel is applied. After that I will go to meshing, right click and then generate mesh. Okay, let's say the element size I am taking 0.2 and then update the mesh. Now it is a much better mesh. After that I will go to the static structure, right click and then go to line pressure. Make a uncheck on this thick shell. Make a uncheck on this mesh. Here the value of this force is 50 kilonewton. So this is 50,000 Newton. And direction, okay, for this we need to select the component. So direction will be in the downward side, so that is negative y. So this is negative 50,000 Newton. Okay, and then we need to select these edges. So here select edge selector, hold down the control key and select all these edges. So make sure all edges are selected as a green, click apply. After that go to solution, right click. Okay, before that we need to apply the boundary condition. So go to fixed support, click on this vertex, hold down the control key and select all these vertices. Zoom out and select these vertices, click apply. So here it is showing 6 vertices are selected. After that go to solution, right click, I want deformation and then I want the beam tool, right click and then solution. So if I go to this deformation and click on this animation, so you can see the deformation is only showing onto these edges. So it means there is some problem. Now we need to figure out what is the problem. All the truss member should take the bending load, but here we can see only these truss members are taking the load. Now to find out the problem, we need to go to the geometry for this, or we can go to the meshing. So go to mesh, click on this thick option. Now here we can see in this problem, now let's zoom in here. We can see the orientation of the steel frames. See here the orientation is vertical, but here the orientation is horizontal. So you can see here, if I rotate this, let's rotate it and then zoom in here. So here we can see the orientation is vertical here, but here is the horizontal. And by rule, all the orientation should be vertical because it is the property of I section to take the higher bending load. So now we need to reverse the orientation. To reverse it, we need to go to the geometry. So I go to file and then close this model. We need to make some changes into the geometry. So I go to this edit in design modeler. And then I go to view, make a uncheck on this cross sectional display. So first let's make a check on this and let's see which edges I have to make the changes. So I have to select all these edges. Okay, now go to uncheck on this. Now to rotate this, what I do, I go to this edge option. So click on this edge and let's say I select this edge. Now hold down the control key and select all these edges of which I have to change the orientation. Select this. Now in the angle rotation I will select 90 and then click on generate. Now once again go to view and then see the cross section. Now we can see the cross section has been oriented. Okay, now once again I go to close design modeler. I will go to this model, right click and then update this. So it will update this in the complete model. So now it is updated. I will go to this model, right click and then click on edit. And here once again let's check our load and boundary condition. So start with the meshing. Let's go to the meshing. Okay, meshing is fine. The load and the boundary condition. Okay, after that I will also want to calculate the reaction force. So I will go to this probe and then force reaction. I want to calculate the force reaction on the fixed support. Now I go to solution, right click, clear generated data. It will clear all the old data. Now right click and then solve this. Now I go to deformation, and here you can see the bending is on all the truss members. So I go to this animation, and you can see the animation. You can also find out the stress value from here. So these are all the stresses. So if I want to calculate the reaction force, click on this. So I want the reaction in vertical direction. So if I go to this y axis, and this is the value of total reaction, you can check this 2.1 power 6 Newton. So this is the vertical reaction. Similarly, you can also find out the reaction in z and x direction, but the reaction will be closer to 0 because we had applied the load in vertical direction. So in this way you can perform the analysis of steel frames.